Welcome back to part 2 of TCR Trading Up, and boy am I busy today. I've got to order the parts for the Mk2 Focus, pick them up, take the car back to the barn, fit the parts, take some snappy shots of it and list it for sale. If you want to see how I get on, stick around and hopefully it'll be a good result.
If you're new here, I'm Tom Shorrock and I bought this Ford Focus for 200 quid. Once I've fixed its problems, I'm going to sell it, and if I make a profit, I'll buy another car, repeat the process until I have enough money to buy a BMW E46 M3. This episode is also proudly sponsored by Green Flag, more about them later.
Now, if you watched the last series, you'll be well aware we had an intermittent issue where the car struggled to start.
Second. Oh dear.
And with the added help of a friend, everything is pointing towards the battery. So I need to order one of those to hopefully put this right. There are, however, some other issues.
Now I'm just looking through the MOT advisories and there was mention of the suspension arms having excessive play. And I have noticed a knocking noise coming from the car, especially when I'm driving it. So the only way to really sort that is to replace the suspension arms as well as the battery. And the one place I'm going to head to, of all places, is Euro Car Parts. So we'll just get on the website there, hit that in, add the registration, and we go. Add the front left lower suspension arm, add the front right lower suspension arm, and a battery, and immediately we have quite an alarming problem. It's too expensive. It's coming out at near £300. So there's only one way to solve this, and that's presenting myself in front of the people at the counter at Euro Car Parts, because I am king of negotiation. So I jumped in the car and headed to Euro Car Parts, hoping that my northern charm would help me secure a better deal. Surely all it would take is a bit of banterous bartering. I usually start at half the price and work my way up, so I'm quite confident I can pull this off.
That was an absolute fail. 10% is the best they can offer. So that's working out at 270 odd quid. I just can't justify spending that on the car to repair it if I want to make a decent margin, because every penny counts in this challenge. If I make minimal amounts on each car, it means the more flips that I've got to do. And if I want to own a BMW E46 M3, I just can't warrant spending this amount of money. I think it's time for plan B.
So I headed back home thinking maybe online is the way forward for these parts. I'd forgotten my trusty old friend, a friend that I relied on for many years whilst restoring the red Mini, eBay.
Now, I know I should have looked here first, but I wanted the parts today so I could fit them today and then list the car for sale. But check this, front lower suspension arms, Starline, which is the same make as Euro Car Parts, a pair, £56. I'm sorry, Euro Car Parts, market leader, my arse, you double the price, mate.
You suck!
So I'm definitely ordering them, and now we'll add a battery and we wait. Potential of 3 to 5 days, but to save over 100 quid, it is definitely worth the wait. I'll join you in a couple of days. So whilst we're waiting for all those parts to arrive, I might as well introduce you to today's sponsor, which is Green Flag OneCheck. It's a vehicle history checking service, and it's a lot better than a HPI check, and it's also a lot cheaper than other competitors, and it's even cheaper if you use my discount code of TCR10. But just check this example. There's a Volkswagen Golf GTD here listed live on Auto Trader. It's in prestige condition with minimal scratches and dents. It's up for 14,000, yet they've failed to mention that it's been through a salvage auction and also been repaired. Now, if you're buying a car, surely you would want to know that, and a HPI check doesn't dig this deep. Green Flag OneCheck does, and that's why it's here to save you from making the mistake of buying an absolute ringer. And it's a tool I'm going to be using in this series for every single car that we buy to flip, because if I buy the wrong car, it could hinder my dream of one day owning an E46 BMW M3. So, link in the description, TCR10, and with that, back to the video.
Soon the parts came and it was time to get them fitted, and with all the lost time I opted to fit them on the driveway rather than transporting the car back to the barn. And for the first time in weeks, it wasn't forecast to rain. I started off by loosening the wheel nuts and jacking up the car. I then squirted a bit of WD on all the nuts that needed loosening. Then it was time for the Yugga Dugga gun to come out, as well as the ball sack splitter. With the ball joints popped off, I unbolted the wishbones, and surprisingly, it slid out without putting up a fight. After a quick comparison with new and old, it was time to fit the new ones and repeat the process in reverse.
So, you join me here right now in the shed with another thing that I've always wanted to put right on the Mk2 Focus, and it's been bugging me since the day we acquired it, and that is these centre caps for the alloy wheels. Now, these, for a decent quality one that doesn't need work, were £25 each. Now, I couldn't see how that would add at least 100 quid's worth of value to the car, so it was kind of a pointless investment. But if you know me, I can't do things half-assed. I have to do things properly, otherwise it's not worthwhile doing. So I've been scouring on eBay and I've managed to find one, not two, not three, not even four, but I found 5. That was a mistake. I thought I bought 4 for the price of 12 quid. That didn't happen. It came with one in the post, but there's a spare one for the next owner in case they lose one, or the mechanic just forgets to put it back on when you change a wheel. But the reason I'm here is because they do need a bit of work, they need a bit of spraying, and that's what I'm going to do. So I bought myself, I think, an £8 can of wheel silver. I hope it matches. We're going to spray it and stick them on the car, so it just gives it that bit of finesse ready to sell.
Now, when it comes to paint, it's all in the prep. The reality is, I'm about to spend much more time masking up and sanding these wheel caps down than I will with my finger on the trigger of a rattle cap. I'm not going for a pro finish on these because it's just not worth my time for the value of the car. I'm only really doing this to cure my OCD. Plus, it will make the car look better. Now they're dry and the masking tape's been removed, it's time to slap them onto the wheels.
So now it's finally time to list the car for sale, but before we do, we need to go through exactly what we've spent. We bought the car for 200 quid and we spent £50 on cleaning products in the last episode. We've had a new battery fitted, which cost £85. New wishbones, which are fitted ourselves, those were £56.99. The wheel caps came at £35.80. We've had a fresh MOT along with tracking, which it did need after fitting the wishbones, and that cost £70. 2 tins of spray paint for touching things up and spraying a few bits underneath the car. That was £17.98, and a tenner's worth of fuel just to move it around and take it to and from the garage. That brings us in at a total of £525.77, which is quite a lot. So the question is, how much can I sell this car for? Well, after looking at Auto Trader, there's a couple of examples on here that are around 2.5 grand, but they are up for sale with dealers and they offer a 3-month warranty, which is something that I can't do. Anyway, there's one here that's up for 2,400. In my opinion, it's a complete utter dog compared to the one that we have. Yes, it's got lower mileage, but it's had 4 owners. The paint on the car is just all over the place, different colours in different areas of the car, and it's full of dings. Ours, however, has had 1 owner, has a full service history and comes with the original bill of sale. It's had a new clutch, a new slave cylinder, it's had a new timing belt, it's also had pads and discs, and as well as everything else that we've previously mentioned and rectified in these episodes.
So the price that I'm thinking I'm going to pitch this car at is 1995. If I manage to pull this off, I should make roughly a £1,400 profit, which will go nicely towards the BMW E46 M3. I'm not going to sell it on Auto Trader because I was absolutely gobsmacked at the price of selling cars on Auto Trader, and it was coming out at £76, which simply isn't worth it just to put a car online. There are plenty of free places, and one that I'm going to utilise is Facebook Marketplace. So let's have a quick look at the advert. I'll get it up, we've tapped it in, so we'll list everything. One owner, full service history, new clutch, new timing belt, pad and disc, everything on there. Get all that together. And 3, 2, 1, post. And now we wait. Hello? Yeah, it is still for sale. So go on then, make me an offer. Join me next time to find out exactly how much we sold the Focus for, and more importantly, what the next project car is to trade up.
When you're lost, take your trust. Yeah, that's me.